What's next then?
Online course. There was something.
Our online course. There was something else we were here for. What was it? Oh yeah, online course. Cool.
So, and any news? Did you learn anything? Anyone reaching out?
No, no. A couple of people. I've had a couple of people go. When I posted, the first one we did, I reposted that. This is where the journey started.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of people come back and go excited to see where this is going. From my retail boss network, which is the fashion people and everything.
Yeah.
They've specifically asked when it's going to be ready, because they want to put a link into their educational page, which is really cool. So there's some there's some people that are very, very interested in looking at it, and then I want to start having some conversations. Then so I spoke with another online business, popupshops.io. They were the co-sponsors of this retail summit, and I was talking to them about this, and they would like to collaborate on saying about this becoming a certificate for pop-up retailing that maybe landlords recognize. They're up for collaborating on that. That's cool. And turning that into a bit of an educational piece as well. So right. I think it's really it's getting some traction from people that in areas actually that I didn't think it would, in terms of the idea. All we have to do is obviously find the people that actually want to do it. So
yeah. So going forward, there are different ways. Number one is we need to have an understanding of content, which I think now is the next step to go deep and say, okay, this is content. Like high level chapters, or however we call that, and then we have lessons underneath.
Yeah.
And then really looking into, okay, you need to build up a structure for yourself where you say, okay, these are the core pillars you want to get through. These are the lessons inside the pillars. And then it's always looking into, okay, if that's the lesson, what is the needs, dreams, and desires that are fulfilled? And what is the language you need to speak so that that's getting through? Yeah. But we have started that in one of the earlier calls already, where you looked into that. But I think now it's really getting into depth of what are the key pillars of the program? How do you divide them into smaller pieces? Because then we can look into, is it, let's say, if you have 3 pillars, is it 3 separate programs or courses, or is it one course including everything, or whatever it is? Because what I've seen with my course, which is the 25-day challenge, it's 25 days of content. And it's just a lot. So it requires that someone is saying, okay, I go all in and I will now take 25 days of my time, or at least half an hour every day for 25 days to go into that. And I see that some people are not going completely through it. They're just skipping, or they're going ahead and looking at the content, which is fine in general. But it's more that means the time commitment is maybe too long, which I think it would be different if I would have like a 4-hour thing where it's like, oh, it's divided into 4 1-hour pieces. It's easier to get through it.
And what, so the physical content, what format is that physical content? Is it video? Is it worksheets? Is it reading and then a kind of Q&A?
So that's
multiple choice.
That's for me the next step. So it can be video. What I did for myself, it's video and it's a worksheet. So it's like,
great,
you can print that out. It's like it's a PDF with questions and areas to fill in. Where it's like, okay, there's a question, I need to fill in my answer. Yeah. And the teaching content is inside the video. So it's me talking about a specific topic. It's me explaining the exercise, but the exercise they do on a sheet of paper or digital in a PDF.
Because that's the format I'd like to follow.
Yeah.
that there's a, which actually goes back, Jim Quick goes back to Jim Quick's kind of format as well, which I love. So okay, so I think I know what the 4 pillars are, just based on, and that I think that works. It works for both sides. It works for operations, and it works for the users, and it works for the hosts.
Yeah.
Although maybe the hosts, maybe it's 3 and not 4, but yeah, I understand. I think I've got a line on what those 4 pillars are, as kind of topics, and then, as you say, breaking it down into, like, if we take location is a pillar, yeah. So breaking it down, what types of locations are there?
Yeah.
What location works best for you? What's the ideal position for you? What are you, what are the stats that you need to look at?
Yeah.
And all of those sorts of things. So I guess that's how we're kind of breaking it down in that way. So yeah, okay. I'm really excited about that. That's good.
So it's that part, understanding the pillars, understanding the lessons inside of it, how to get through the pillar.
Yeah.
And then it's looking into the order of the totality.
Yeah.
So do you want to onboard someone? Hey, if you take from the research, an online retailer where you say, hey, you might have no idea about the details. So I need to, okay, what do you need to do when you want to do a pop-up? What are the different steps to get from A to having a pop-up? Yeah. That might mean you need to jump into different pillars before. If you just go pillar by pillar by pillar, that's maybe out of order for them. So yeah, it's, do you want to show the pillars inside the content, or do you want to give them a hand-holding perspective, where it's start here, just follow the program, and you will get through it?
I think if you're coming from an online perspective, the fact that you decided that you want to do the course means I want to know how I do this. Yeah, it's not like, oh, I've got nothing, but I'm already in the mindset of everybody's thinking about pop-ups. I think I should be doing it. Julie's done a pop-up, who I know was really successful. So there is a logical way through that, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of the location. So for me, the pillars are the location, which is obviously the key. Is there the right location? Yeah. Then how does it operate? So the physicality of what it's doing. How do I manage that as a well, there's 2 parts to that. How do I manage that as a pop-up with my business, and how do I manage that as another aspect to grow my business? Okay. And then how do I market that to everybody? So for me, that is quite a logical path as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
But equally, well, no, I think that's the right way to go about it. And then there is some hand holding, as you say, along the way. So and then there's an overview of, here's how I'm going to walk you through it.
Yeah.
So there are 4 aspects to this course, and so let me tell you why it's in this order.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because the key is, if you want to market it in that particular way, that means you need to take a different location.
Yeah.
If you have the location, and then, oh, I have a location and I need to market it. Okay, these are the steps. If I don't have a location, how do I find out the best location for the market, for the customers I want to get? So there are different perspectives you can play with. So what might be is, like, one thing is having the content, and then maybe having different ways of applying the content. Like you said, maybe having a navigation system to say, okay, if you have a location already and you want to make this more successful, these are the episodes.
Yeah.
if you don't have a location and you want to market it in the future and you want to find out the best location, that's how you're going to, this is your order, you should be going through it. So if you make that independent, you can even take the same content into a different course or just link it properly. And that's the value. So what I did for myself as well was I was basically recording every content piece in a way of, except that I was saying, hey, it's day number 25 of 25. Of course, if you cut that out, I could just show that middle piece. I could just say, hey, this is about goal setting. And then it's about goal setting. I can use that content for another course in the same way.
Another course if you wanted to. Yeah. Got it.
So it also gives you the leverage and the freedom of changing things, because sometimes you find out when you have it online, hey, this piece is not really working, or you get feedback from the people who went through it. I don't get that piece. So you can record that video, or you do that exercise, that smaller piece differently. If it's all tied together in all depths, then it's hard to do that. Just a couple of learnings from my side.
No, insightful. I like the idea of that depending. So here's an overview of what the content is, but depending on where you are in your journey or your business, here's the order I suggest you do it in. Like it. I like that.
And that will help. So that's then again being specific for this for the use case, if you call it a use case. For, hey, if you're an online retailer, this is important track for you. If you're a landlord, this is, if you don't have separate courses, if you want to squeeze everything into one course, then you can have different pathways through the course.
I'm still keen on having two courses. So kind of online and retailers as one, and then landlords as the other. But what I would like to do is kind of draw the curtain back on each side at some point. So
I mean, love that. Maybe there's one perspective where you say pop-up fundamentals, one course for everyone. Which gives you a perspective, hey, that's what it is about, that's what everyone should know. And then you do a specific online. This is for online retailers. And then a specific, this is on top of the fundamentals for landlords. So where you then have, where you can even have 3 different prices, 3 different perspectives, but you basically have then pop-up fundamentals as one course. This is something we can play with. It's more about if you have the pillars and the depth of the content of the sessions, then we can look into and prototype going forward to say, that's resonating, that's not resonating, that works, that doesn't work. And then you can basically put that together. Because when you have the content, changing things on the web, that's peanuts. It's like half an hour, and then you have moved things around, and it looks different.
Got it. So I'm listening to what you're saying, and my mind's going 100 miles an hour now. So maybe the format. So for both sides, there is here's what you all need to know as kind of the opening for the course. Here's all the things that you need to know, right? And then maybe there's a checklist. So for me, so what you need to know, what you want to know specifically from what I've told you, you all need to know is this, and this. Yeah. Now, so if you're a retailer or an online brand, you're turning left now, and if you're a landlord, you're turning right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then when you click on your bit, then it's for the retail side. So depending on where you are in your journey, this is how I suggest you do the course. CBDA, ABCD, whatever. If you're a landlord and you're just starting out, or you're trying to train your team, or you've got new employees, this is where I suggest you start ABC 1, 2, 3, whatever. Yeah. Got it.
And I mean, theoretically, we need to try that. I have no idea. But for me, it sounds logic. So one perspective we can try this is when you have written down the main pillars and the steps, you can talk to people, like the people you have engaged with already, to say, hey, what do you think about this? What would be more interesting for you? And ask the question we just discussed. Would you like to have it like a journey like this, or is it like this, or would you directly dive
more
into
rigid? Yeah. Okay.
Because then you get basically direct possible customer feedback, and then it's tailor-made towards that needs. But of course, you need to have more people giving you feedback, that you're not tailoring it for one person.
Totally.
That's always the difficult part.
Yeah. No, absolutely right.
That's why, I mean, what would be amazing when you speak at the conference in New York, understanding that and saying, hey, there's a prototype out there. I'm looking for 100 beta testers. Who is up for it? It's for free. And then you run them through, 100 people run them through, and you basically learn, and they give you feedback. And then you basically can tailor make it for the future ones. Or you say, hey, it's 50% off because I'm speaking here or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. As well. Yeah, cool. Or maybe other events sooner if we're a bit further down the road. I mean, it's April, so I'd hate to think we were beta testing in September. I mean, I'd kind of like, end of May.
Yeah,
end of May. I have in the back of my head, end of May is when we're kind of, it's out there. Go play with it. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's a lot of I mean, certainly even just from a recording perspective, there'll be a lot to kind of record. What was your I know you did kind of 25 days, but what was your video content length? What's optimal, do you think?
Yeah, that's hard to say. It really depends on content. But what I did and what I did was anything between 10 and 30 minutes. So 30 minutes was the longest, because I was thinking, if you do this every day and you need to spend half an hour watching the video, and then it takes a lot of time of your day and a lot of commitment, which I think is definitely worth it. But then it's more depending on the people who are using the course. And so for me was more, the content has driven the length of it and my explanations around it. But I wouldn't go longer than 30 minutes, because I've been part of online courses. I've taken online courses. I mean, if you sit an hour and still need to do something, I would rather break it into smaller pieces. And then you can say, okay, now I have 15 minutes. I want to see the video. I do the exercise, and then I've done a piece, especially with our very large attention span now, which is like 10 seconds.
Sorry, what did you
say? Exactly.
You're right. No, you're right. And so, I mean, I'm just thinking, again, like I said, my mind's going at 100 miles an hour, but I was just thinking about the location part of this pillar, in terms of, if I'm going to talk about a mall, I'd like to actually be in a mall and talk about it. If I'm going to be in a strip mall, I want to be at a strip mall and talking about it. Because I think that's going to be visually, I think it's far more interesting, rather than maybe just me stood there, because, like you say, people's attention spans will. But also,
that's where you can combine it with the TV show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's, if you have a backdrop of the TV show or whatever, like your pop-up TV show pop-up, it's awesome. It's going to look awesome. It's like directly something appealing just from that get-go.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit over the top in the beginning, but why not? If you want to do the TV show thing anyhow, then why not combining that?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would think that any opportunity I get to be in a mall anyway, then yeah, why not utilize it in any way you can? You know, like to shoot 20 minutes for pop-up shop TV, and then to do 15 minutes to go. So if you don't know what a mall looks like, this is a mall, and what are we looking for when we're in here? You know,
Yeah,
kind of thing. But actually, that's part of pop-up shop TV anyway. I mean, it's almost, that's the educational part, or maybe the content is just the same. Even.
Yeah, no.
Or is it?
I wouldn't do it honestly from a business perspective, because the opportunity is, let's say you do the online course, the TV show is looking behind the scenes. Like,
yeah, true.
Let's have a look. There's a pop-up. You have an agreement with the pop-up that you will have a look, and then you say, okay, this and this and this you can improve in a nice way. Let's have a look how we can do that. So you document that, which will drive people into the online course. Yeah. If you want to know how to improve that, then obviously the online course. And you just do this. I mean, you don't document 100%, but you show that you work with them, and then the outcome of it over time. Yeah, got it. And that documented in your TV. I mean, that's the best commercial you can have. Sure. Cool. We're almost out of time, my friend. Yes. Awesome. Great work today. Just and listen, for how much of this you might. Oh, you've gone again. He's back again. There he is. EOS can, whatever that is. Just I know for the start of this we were off on some other tangents and things, but I might have cut that out. Oh, okay. Let's see. I was going to say, what you don't know is prior to this recording, or even if we kept it in, right? Either way, part of this creative process for me is the way in which we spark off each other around ideas and thoughts, and kind of, you know, our ideas collide in a great way. Yeah. And that's one of the best things I get from this. I can't stress that enough to everybody. You have no idea the joy and the gratefulness I get from this. And funnily enough, I'm getting ideas as well. I have written down a couple of things from myself in the same way. It's like, holy shit, I need to have a show as well. Yeah, and you all need to have shows. You know, no, I should have one. I was more thinking turning the Innovation Breakfast Club into a YouTube show rather than podcast only. I think so. I think it'd be a great idea. Great idea. So anyway, everybody, dream big, hustle harder, right? Don't forget, connect the dots. Connect the dots, right? See you all again next week on our course to build a course, and thanks all for watching again. Thank you. Brilliant. See you again. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.